There's people who spend 20, 30 years perfecting their chili recipe. Mm-hmm. There's people who literally throw garbage in a tray and call it meatloaf.
Come on. It's not garbage. It's delicious. Oh, it's so good.
Sorry, I did misspeak. There's people who throw seasoned garbage in a tray and call it meatloaf.
Now, I know that you're thinking to yourself, Steve and Kyle, those are drywall guys. I mean, they talk drywall all the time.
All the time.
Hey, we can expand our horizons a bit.
Listen, I've been wanting to get in the door game for a while now. Telling Ned to stick to the woodwinds or whatever type instruments that is, okay? We'll handle the...
Yep, that's right. Violins or woodwind.
It's wood, right?
It's a string instrument.
Oh, okay. What is a woodwind? Do you need me to maybe monologue for a few minutes?
God, no.
While you look...
That was a fun walk down memory lane.
Those always are whenever I have the opportunity, Steve, to look back and be able to dig into the archives. And that's definitely a loose end that we've talked about, that I want to do a game someday where we just pull one of those. I have my computer every week with a catalog of those. And I want to just play one or two and have you and I try to guess what the hell were we talking about. Like, how did we get on the conversation of meatloaf? and I say that...
I still stand by my statement. Meatloaf
good?
is delicious.
And I stand by my statement that it's seasoned garbage.
I don't think you've had a quality meatloaf.
Okay, so now we need to have a meatloaf date and a steak date. Is that what you're telling me? Because that's still on the table. That's still not a priority, but it's something that we need to do, where we either cook steaks at one of our houses, or go to a nice steakhouse, and you are going to order the steak for me.
Yeah.
And you've told me explicitly I cannot ask for A1 on the side. Is that accurate?
Cannot ask for A1, and it can't be... It really shouldn't be anything more than medium. Like, medium rare is pretty...
Okay. You dropped the rare from that. I honestly don't know. If you put a medium rare steak... Now, pull up a picture, if you could, of a generic medium rare. Because I think if you put a medium rare in front of my face, and I touched it with the fork or a knife, and just seeing the color seep out of it, I don't think there's a chance I could take a bite unless I was force-fed with a blindfold.
All right. Medium rare. I'm throwing it up on the Jumbotron now.
There's no chance. Are you insane?
Well,
that's straight from the horse.
Well, that does... that monitor makes it look... Actually, it makes...
It's pretty red.
It's more red on this screen here. So you'd probably be less likely to eat it if you
saw. Lord. That actually... you're right. That has much more definition in terms of the brown and red. The fact that there's even any brown. That's the medium portion then.
Yeah.
Where we've got like a nice brown crust.
Yep.
Just to hide all of the uncooked meat.
Well, it's going to happen, though. We have to do that. But before we get into anything, I want to be the first to congratulate you on the birth of baby.
Thank you. Yeah. He's
baby.
He's here.
Baby.
Yeah.
Little Cliff, right?
Yeah, he's some pounds.
Couple ounces, too. Mixed in there.
Average inches long.
Yeah.
Loads of hair.
Yep. Oh, you have to throw in of course, the mother and baby are doing well. That's kind of the go-to, like, Facebook.
Oh, yeah.
Facebook dialogue that after you post the first picture, which I saw the picture of baby and good job.
It's kind of I know it's not safe to assume in that situation. But if, let's say, husband or significant other posting from either their Facebook or Instagram or whatever, or from the person who just gave birth's Instagram or Facebook, it's kind of a conclusion, right? That if you're like, hey, here's a picture of the baby, that mother's okay? Is that a stupid assumption? Because
I don't know.
In a million years, has there ever been a post, meet my new son, blah, sorry, mommy passed?
I bet there has been.
Do you think there has been? I know there's those, like...
Well, good news, bad news.
What do you do with that? You scroll past that, right?
Yeah, I mean, do you do the heart, or do you do the crying face? Because Facebook, you have the options now. You can't just, you don't just have to like.
I scroll past. I actually probably mute that person.
Mute him for a couple months.
Yeah, and hope I forget that I just had to see that. And that's because I'm guessing in those scenarios where something tragic happens during the birth, you just don't mention the birth. You're not like social media like, hey, everybody's here.
Yeah, maybe you just lay off social media for a bit.
That's safe. That's very safe.
Don't post anything. I'm sure that word will get out. People will know. Hey, you got a baby.
Yeah, eventually word will filter.
Ma croaked.
Just that way, too. Matter of fact. Oh, hey, thanks for coming over. Oh, where's Lucy? Oh, Lucy died.
I didn't tell you? Yeah. But look at Harvey over there.
Horrendous.
He's great.
Oh, God. It's atrocious. Well, thank you, Steve. I don't know why, but it feels preemptive. But thank you nonetheless.
Yeah. Yeah, no problem. So I'm sure that you're hearing a lot of little kid songs like this.
Yeah, this is what they do at X Days Old, where we're playing them kids' music. They're bobbing along.
Yeah, plop them right in front of the TV.
Yes, sir.
Say, keep watching, kid.
Yeah,
that's where you learn stuff from.
Yeah, but on like the basement TV, so I can still play video games.
Yeah, that's right. Because I'm a man.
Yeah, and I'm not changing my life. Now, the way I'm going to act.
If you're wondering why we're being very vague about details, it's because this episode is being, I'll just say it. It's Thursday, September 27th, 2018, the year of our Lord. It's the Steve and Kyle podcast.
Yeah.
This is kind of our auxiliary evergreen episode because baby could be here at any moment.
Yeah.
So we just want to have one in the tank that we will release when the baby's here. So,
yeah. So
I'm hoping that the baby doesn't screw up our schedule for more than like a week.
Listen, I don't want to miss one. We talked about this before we cracked these mics this afternoon, Steve. We have a streak going of 104 in a row without missing a week. Now there's best of, but we've been recording when we've done the best of podcasts because we have to light the fire and put on our slippers. And
question,
yeah,
how many consecutive episodes of a podcast has your baby recorded? I bet it's 0.
Sounds like he's already a letdown.
Mm-hmm.
Because if there's one thing that I want my name carried on for, it's podcasting. I don't want him to be an astronaut.
No.
A surgeon.
No, anyone can do that.
Star athlete.
We don't go to the moon anymore.
If he can't pull off 100 to 200 episodes of a podcast without missing one, what good is he? He's never getting my approval at that point.
At what age do you think a child would start getting interested in podcasts? 6?
I think 6.
You think 6? Age 6, they're starting to listen to a podcast.
Well, no, and obviously, listen, podcasting is obviously so much more different now than it was even a year ago, let alone 10 years ago. But there's children's podcasts now.
Mm-hmm. All right, so you think...
But I don't think they're getting in the car like, Mommy Pod.
Well, I think that they also don't really, they don't understand what it is.
Sure. I
talk to people who have kids. Obviously, I'm not a father yet like you are.
Yeah, thank you again.
At this juncture, and it's gonna make me sound like I'm doing the back in my day, but I don't think that kids don't understand really the difference between something that's on YouTube and something that's on broadcast TV or something that's on HBO or something. I
could agree with that. There's no differentiation there. And
right. So they know that there's a show on that they like. They may not understand the whole podcast thing, but see, I'm thinking that the earliest that a kid would possibly get into podcasting would be teens.
That's what I was, 13, 15, right. 14, 15.
So 13, let's say 13. So your child will not be into podcasts until 13, and maybe so he'll probably listen to podcasts for a couple years before he starts getting the itch to do a podcast.
So call it 15.
Okay, so 15 is when he's going to start his own podcast.
2033.
15 years old. Let's see. So that's going to be another roughly, if we keep up our streak, about 750 episodes. We already got about 115 or so. So we got an 800 some episode head start.
Yeah, we're going to be gearing up for episode 1000. Big plans.
Yeah.
Maybe putting up.
Well, I mean, we'll be gearing up in 2 years. Like it wouldn't be for 2 years.
Oh yeah, but it's a big bash.
Yeah.
You know, you think like the iHeart music festivals are big deals.
Yeah.
Wait till
we're gonna have all of our guests back.
Oh all at once though.
S. Robbie Mack is gonna be there.
We're
flying Nikki in.
Nikki's
She's
coming
gonna
in.
be there.
We've got obviously Leanne's coming.
Betsy,
Marcy, who said very rude things about me at Your Side Gigs live show this past year.
Well deserved.
Whoever sent us that. Oh, that was S. Robbie Mack who sent us the portrait.
Yeah, that actually may be grounds for being uninvited.
Yeah,
because of the shards of glass.
The deal is
you remember the video that I sent you?
Oh yeah.
I'm like, hey, look, we got some mail, and I shifted it back and forth. And clink, 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 clink.
Yeah, because that's how we started discussing the idea that it sounded like a rain stick because there were so many pieces of glass.
Oh, that's right. And we had some debate or some post.
Is the rain stick a musical instrument? And I don't want to get into it again because I've been in a heated debate about a lot of things. That one may be the one I've been most fired up about ever.
I don't remember what my stance was, but
that it's obviously not a musical instrument.
Right.
And, of course, the idiot listeners of this stupid thing all sided with you.
Did I say that it was?
No, I did. They all sided with you saying that it wasn't a musical instrument.
You said that it was.
Are you? There's some nuance. There's some subtleties with that.
So a stick with like what marbles in it or something is an instrument, but a legitimate instrument, a la the piano, is an idiot machine.
Oh, that's an absolute idiot machine.
But instrument.
Oh yeah,
okay.
Yeah. It's just on the lower tier than the rain stick.
I wasn't sure if idiot machine negated all instrument qualities.
As I've proven a handful of times, anybody can go and dabble on the piano. Steve, I would trust that you could put together a nice piece of music in a matter of seconds on that thing if you wanted to. It's an idiot machine.
Just thought of something that we'll have to get to in a. Ooh, you hear that?
Was that? I didn't hear it.
That was a little. I don't know if I could. I felt it. I thought it made a noise too, though. But I just thought of something I have to make a note for the next episode that we record. See, it's weird since we're
all out of order.
Yeah, we're recording this one out of order, so I don't want to talk about something here that won't come out for a couple weeks.
Sure.
That we will then talk about again next week, which will actually be before this.
I can't blame you. This is all weird.
Yeah.
That's why we're being very vague about the season.
Yeah.
Even though there's no chance the season's going to change before the baby's born.
How about that weather, though?
Right? You know what I was thinking on the way over here?
What's that?
Gas prices, huh?
Those nutty politicians in Washington.
They can't get anything right.
What do they think of next?
There you go. There's your evergreen. You don't even need to watch the local news.
No.
You can just listen to that.
So now that baby is here,
yes.
baby Cliff.
Yep.
I know
TBD, by the way. Cliff is can be the placeholder.
Okay.
We have not decided on a name.
Sam?
It's Baby X.
You haven't decided?
No, we have a name.
Okay.
Nobody knows. It'll be unveiled when you all see it on social media.
Now, do you have
you want a heads up on that, or are you going to be okay if you just find out like through social media?
I mean, I'd be a little insulted.
All right.
A little bit.
Noted.
Now, do you have because you're having a baby boy, do you have a girl's name picked out just in case? Because you see those news stories every now and then where it's like, they were expecting a boy and they got 2 girls.
Yeah.
Like every ultrasound somehow has been wrong.
Yeah.
Doctors have just been idiots.
They've dropped the ball continually.
So do you have a go-to girl name?
I had my favorite, but it didn't. We found out it was a boy immediately. So the name discussion was incredibly premature before we even looked into that. But for me, girl names were much easier to come up with than boy names that I didn't hate.
Yeah.
And aren't overused and that whatever. But a girl, yeah. I had one girl name that I really liked, but again, we didn't get to what we'll call the open hearing portion of the phase because we found out it was a boy.
So it was shot down. Or no, well, you didn't.
It wasn't there.
Yeah,
I don't know if it had. I don't know if it would have gotten through the House to be brought up in the Senate.
Right.
But I liked it. Now hear me out here, Steve.
Okay.
It's not. And now that I hear it back in my own head, I like it a lot less.
Okay. So now, question before you reveal what the name is. If you end up having a girl years down the line, will this name be...
Oh, I would argue it'd be in contention. Okay. Absolutely. I'll probably bring it up again.
All right.
But
so
now, again...
then I have to make sure that I don't insult it too much now.
Well, I'm insulting it now by saying it doesn't sound good in my own head. So if that
is
tells
it
you,
a name? Is it?
It is a name.
Okay, so it's already a name.
Yes.
It's not just like a smattering together of some sounds that you like.
Sure. No.
Or like things like the baby's not like pumpkin spice or something.
Oh, God. No, not quite. Not named after any delicacies or coffee or lattes or anything like that. Or in the vein of the Kardashian West family, cities or directions.
Okay.
None of that. I spell it out for you. RAYLEIGH.
RAY?
Yeah.
Rayleigh.
Yeah.
Not Riley.
No. And in hindsight, I'm glad that our dear friend Cy Nolan Ryan Young has a beautiful baby daughter, second one named Riley. That, trust me, this was in my head much before they gave birth to her. But yeah, I liked that. But now I hear it in my head.
I've never heard that name before.
It reminds me, and it definitely, I think it is unique. But in my brain, it reminds me of the girl you'd see or hear about in a country music song, or like the movie Joe Dirt that they made fun of, because it's so country bumpkin or like stripper name.
Like she has Daisy Dukes on.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I think in my head now.
Okay.
And now I'm not going to be able to get that out of my brain.
Yeah.
So now that I've said Rayleigh out loud,
it's kind of ruined for you now.
Yeah.
I like it. It's not a normal, air quotes, normal name.
I wanted to somehow incorporate, a little bit of an homage to my favorite librarian, and I was able to do that with Rayleigh.
Your favorite librarian? Oh, jeez. Are you kidding me?
What?
You're naming your yet-to-be-conceived daughter...
Might never be conceived.
After the man who killed...
No, Steve, how dare you? I said it's an homage to my favorite librarian, Mr. Lee, that I had in elementary school, you big weirdo. I mean, what do you...
Huh. Well, my mistake. I thought that...
His name was Ray Lee, and now you want to make a big scene.
Well, I know that you're a big fan. You are the number one fan of Lee Harvey Oswald.
Listen, you misconstrue my stance on Lee Harvey Oswald. I feel like he never got a fair shake as a guy who just had a bad day at work, boxing up books, just trying to get by.
So it's
his outlet.
So he had a rough day. Okay, I'm on board with that. He had a rough day. Can you still do what he did, though?
His avenue to release that stress was to bring a bolt-action rifle to work and fire it into a crowd that I think it's safe to say he may not have even known it was the president.
It's an interesting stance.
But
if you
that is not the point.
I mean, you do have a long, rich history of choosing the wrong side.
Oh, how dare you. How dare you.
Well, you do choose Floyd Mayweather.
Great boxer. I can separate his boxing from his issues out of the ring.
We've talked
just like I can separate Lee Harvey Oswald's librarianship. Yeah. From his attitude about the United States.
You obviously pick the worst candies ever because you said you want like Junior Mints. Or,
listen, I said
or Good and Plenty's.
I said we go to a movie. What do you bring into a movie? Now, I think I'm going to be vindicated on this if we ever put it on a poll whenever this episode gets released and we remember. I think the go-to bring into a movie theater candies. You're telling me M&Ms, right?
Yeah.
I'm not going to argue with an M&M. But I'm also a bit for you to discount the idea of a box of Mike and Ike's, a box of Raisinets. Steve, you said peanut M&Ms and snow caps. You didn't even have a second place.
First of all, peanut butter M&Ms.
Oh, okay. That is better because peanut M&Ms can go right to the hell where they were conceived.
That bad, huh?
Hate them. But your second place was snow caps. How out of touch are you with candy?
My serious second guess would be
like a Snickers.
No, probably a Kit Kat though.
You're sneaking in a candy. Yeah, and this is how we got sidetracked last time. You're talking candy bar. You're going candy bar. You're not going just pop into the mouth candy. You're going one that you're gonna have to break apart or chew into. You're gonna bring a Kit Kat and you're gonna slowly rip the wrapper and one off at a time.
Well, I mean, opening a Kit Kat wrapper is really no different than opening any other candy wrapper.
I feel like you get your box of Mike and Ike's open. You know
what I'll do just for you?
Uh-huh.
I'll open it before I walk in.
That's all I ask.
Yeah,
that's all I ask. Bring that
You're
Kit
a simple
Kat
man.
in. Bring that Kit Kat in loose in pocket.
No problem. No problem. I'll give you that.
Ziploc baggie, no saran wrap. Obviously, that's another.
You know what I also like? The Mr. Good bars. Oh, boy, that's a good candy. Don't even give me the look. You gotta agree. A Mr. Good bar is a good candy.
I'm not putting it in top 10.
Oh, but you don't like it because it has nuts.
I don't love it. I don't hate the Good bar. Compared like a Payday. You know where you're going, Payday? You're going to go meet your dear friend Peanut M&M right in hell where you were both conceived.
All right, I got something this will be a bipartisan agreement here. Mm-hmm. We'll shake hands across the aisle.
Okay, now I'm excited.
If they made a bite-size Lucky Billy bar, Zach,
get on it.
We might need you to design.
Yeah, you're going to have to condense that label. I don't know what you're going to do. Maybe just go L.B.
No, we just need we need a bag. Instead
okay.
Like the bag that you would get of like the movie size bag of M&Ms where it's a couple inches across, a couple inches tall.
Mm-hmm.
We need we just need a minor redesign of the packaging, Zach.
Zach, that's on you. You've been radio silent since we had to give your job to Philip.
Yeah, where did Zach go?
I don't know. I sent him a legitimate picture of myself so he could finish his Cheers stylized caricature of our logo so we could post it on our shop. Then he went away again.
Out of our lives forever.
He's off grid, if you will. But
so I think what I was trying to get to.
Yeah, where was we?
That? Oh boy, let's see.
I had the baby. You're congratulating me?
Yeah. Yeah, I guess so.
I don't know how we're talking about the movie theater candy.
Yeah, I'm not sure how that came up, but
it's a long simmering debate.
But I digress. So about a month ago or so, maybe 2 months ago at this point, I don't know. Well, during softball season, you had to take, was it 2 weeks off from the team?
Yes. Yeah. Missed 2 games.
You had baby school.
I did, man.
You had to go and learn about how babies function in the world.
Yeah, no.
Now that you're a father, congratulations, by the way.
Thank you again.
On the birth
Thank you. I can't hear it enough.
Baby Clifford.
Yeah, it was all about how babies are made. Mind blown.
No idea.
You wouldn't believe the things you learn.
It came out of nowhere.
Yeah, a lot of questions to delve into later with the mother of this thing.
Okay, so I have some quick questions.
Yeah.
Can you put the baby in a swimming pool unattended?
Now you're asking an expert. Okay.
Yeah, now that you're a father with a bit, congratulations.
Thank you so much. I can't hear it enough. So baby in the swimming pool, you're asking, is that okay?
Yeah, baby, just...
I mean, certain circumstances...
Go for a swim, Clifford.
Yeah, I think certain circumstances that is not discouraged.
Okay.
Now, listen, if you want to get them in there early, though, because like the way my dad taught my brother and I how to swim was by like booting us off the end, like with a size 11 right off the end of the dock.
Yep.
When I was about 8 months.
Okay, good.
You got to struggle through it.
Well, I mean, 8 months, like, every generation wants better for their children.
Sure.
So, what, 6 months?
Yeah, I'm going to up the ante. You know, you always want you better for your child than you. So, yeah, surprisingly, putting your newborn in the pool, not covered. I think they're putting that under the general consensus category.
Sounds like you took a BS class to me.
Well, and this was paid American dollars to not learn, apparently. So,
okay,
the fact that you're now telling me this, Steve, is more than I could have learned in these classes.
Okay. Well, you should pay me then.
What do you think a reasonable amount of time for? Now, these are obviously voluntary. You don't have to undergo any education. A lot of people are like, oh, so don't waste your time. Whatever. I think every first-time parent's the same in this regard. They're probably going to over-worry, over-pack, over-plan. So we did it. What do you think an appropriate amount of time would be to learn? And it's general. So they're not telling you about when the child's 4 or 5 years old. Hey, they're going to have a temper tantrum. No. This is literally...
This is like survival for the first, couple months?
No. This is like labor, signs of labor, stages of labor.
Yeah.
And very, very newborn, like first few weeks in adapting.
Okay.
How long do you think these would be?
Total?
Total. Yeah. What do you think is an appropriate time to learn about this stuff?
Let's see. I took a boater safety course, and that was like...
You were 12, I think. Is that about right? That's when I took mine.
I think no, I didn't take it because this was when I made the big jet ski purchase.
Oh,
I had to have
had to get licensed.
I had to have my boater.
Yes,
my
sir.
Boater license.
Yes, you did.
So I think that was 4 hours or so. So I'd say that for a baby, probably upwards of 4 hours, maybe 5.
Steve, that's what I thought. How about 3?
3 hours?
Times 3.
Okay.
9 hours in the basement conference room of a hospital with a very... I need to preface this because eventually, after she doesn't have to worry about our baby anymore, which I'm sure will be in a few days, she'll listen to this episode. I need to say, she's a very nice woman. She needs to move on to other things. And by that, I mean retirement and or death.
Oh, okay.
Whichever she preferred. And I'm not saying she's sounds like the vacuum cleaner's going. And I'm not saying she's
good time
that
for that.
old. But it's on the table.
Okay.
That's one of her two options. So let me ask you this, Steve. If you think it's a bit too much, I'm just going to say the expression to you that she repeated about 6 times in a very short span. Mm-hmm. The term is mucus plug.
Boy, that
how's that sit in your throat?
Really cuts right through me. That sounds.
It's a devastating term. One that I never wanted to hear once.
No.
Let alone the description of how this woman. I don't want to use the term I'm thinking of because it's not what she used and it's grosser.
Yeah.
Lost or passed her mucus plug? I want to say popped.
Shot?
Because it's unnecessary.
Yeah.
Because it's on the screen. They hand you a book.
Wait,
it's
there's
on
a
the
picture of
screen.
it on the screen?
No, not of that. But
okay.
you know, like it's like a science textbook about hey, this is where it is and this is what's happening. All this stuff. So that terminology is used, not just used, but then she goes into talking about hers with her childbirth experiences.
What, like in the aughts? Like the 1900s?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We got the story of this woman's birth of her children at least a dozen times. Now this lady is a big on and I think you should bring a picture or something from a focal point. So during contractions you have something to look at.
Okay.
And I can't
That seems pretty. I would think that's pretty normal, right?
It's-
Like, hey,
it's
focus
whatever.
on the,
Is that really going to
focus
help
on the
you?
on the picture of from your wedding day. Focus on the family photo.
Ask any woman who's given birth. Now, maybe I'm jaded because I've never given birth. I never will, and quite frankly, I think this is an
Come on.
idiotic
It's simple.
idea.
It's simple.
You're having contractions, horrible, horrible pain, where you're focusing on breathing. Do you give one damn about a sandy beach in Hawaii on the wall? Is that going to make you think you're there?
Okay,
no,
now-
you're still in a hospital room in stirrups with immense pain.
Now, I know that this episode is coming out after the baby's been born.
Sure.
But as we already revealed, the baby has not been born yet.
Give
I have an idea for a focal point.
Okay. What do you got?
That stupid bridge picture sitting next to you. Is there enough room for it in the hotel or in the hospital?
I have
room?
heard these rooms are really nice. I haven't seen one, but they said they're very nice.
Okay.
You know, I figure I'll put this right up over the fireplace, which I'm sure exists.
No, I was going to paint something else on the back of it. You know, why waste the back of the?
Oh,
of
sure.
the
You don't want
canvas,
to ruin
too.
both sides. You want,
Yeah.
you know. Okay.
So the bridge will be facing the wall.
Oh, okay. So you want to paint something
Yeah,
beautiful for her to focus on
Yep.
the back side
Yeah.
of this gorgeous canvas print of the Mackinac Bridge,
Garbage. Like I said,
connecting the lower and upper peninsulas of this great state of ours, Steve.
It connects land. Ooh,
That might actually help. Might actually
think
help
so?
her. But that's neither here nor there. If it helps somebody, beautiful. That's not my place to judge.
Yeah.
For me, that wouldn't do a damn thing.
Everyone is different.
Yes.
What works for you may not work
Yep.
for me.
And quite frankly, I don't have to worry about it working for me. This isn't my thing to deal with.
You're there strictly in. You're the pit crew. What do you need?
Right. Changing tires,
What can I do? Yeah, exactly.
fueling up.
Yep.
I
yeah.
might just be dumping M&Ms into her mouth.
You going peanut butter?
What am I going to... Boy, that is loud right over our heads.
That plane is flying low.
Steve moved. We didn't talk about it yet. It's coming up. Or you heard about that. Yeah, recent episode. Steve moved again to an airport.
Yeah. We're
Yeah.
right in the approach path.
But she told the story no less than 3 times about how with one of her children, her focal point was a picture of Burt Reynolds. And not just that, but the follow-up was always how she ran into Burt Reynolds in Hawaii
I'm sure.
while
And let me guess.
filming...
Let me
or
guess.
no, was it Magnum P.I.? I'm sorry. I'm getting
Tom Selleck.
Tom Selleck.
Tom Selleck, yeah.
Ran into Tom Selleck.
Getting your heartthrobs mixed up.
Yeah, how dare I?
I mean, jeez. At least you didn't say Bradley Cooper.
I would never make that. How dare you offend him?
Heck of a movie that was that we saw, right?
Oh my God! If you don't know what we're talking about, go ahead and listen to either 1, 2, or 3 episodes ago, where Steve and I recap what I referred to as my movie of the year.
Already, huh?
No, I did. You remember?
Yeah, I forgot. Boy, this is really scrambling my brain, man.
And how she told him the story about that, and he couldn't have been less interested.
Oh God, no! Of
Why
course
would
not.
he care? Like, hey, while I was pushing, your face was on the wall.
Yeah.
Whatever. And
I'm sure he was thrilled.
And her most modern comparison, if you want to get the generational gap between this woman and everybody in this class, which wasn't many people, 4 couples in total.
Okay.
Her comparison was, I don't, and again, said this the exact same amount of times, so at least 3.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know who you kids now, maybe a picture of Matt Damon up there. Matt Damon's almost 50. I don't know if anybody's referred to like Matt Damon as a generational heartthrob in 10 years.
I don't know who you kids are into now. Maybe that young hip Neil Diamond.
Oh my gosh, man. So it's whatever. I'm immensely frustrated because, and it's not because of missing softball. Would I've liked to play? Sure. But it's because you work all day and then you know that night you have a 3-hour class to sit there and endure. So you get there.
The only thing I can compare that to is like when I was in college and I'd have an 8 a.m. class and I'd be in class until like, I don't know, maybe 3, 4 in the afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'd go home for a couple hours and then I'd have to come back for that 7:30 to 10:05 class. Oh, absolute garbage. Like, I was just here all day. I don't want to put in more work now.
Right. And this felt so similar to that because you sit there and everybody's had this, whether it be school, work meeting, it doesn't matter. Everybody knows what I'm talking about when I say you sit down and they have it's not a PowerPoint, but for lack of a better term, it's that. It's on a big overhead screen with some short videos of couples that have describing the labor process. You also have a book with essentially what they're doing on the screen right in front of you, and then the lady instructing and doing it all. So my biggest frustration in the world, one of my biggest pet peeves and frustrations is like over redundancy. Mm-hmm. So it's on this PowerPoint talking about whatever. Let's call it stage 1 of labor. You get done. You watch this short little video. Flip through your book. What does the instructor do, Steve? You think, hey, stage 2, right? Hey, we're moving on. How about talking all about stage 1?
So a full review.
Interjected with stories like I used Tom Selleck's face during pregnancy or my mucus plug thing. Or,
that is a terrible...
It's a terrible term.
Combination
and it's
of
one
words.
that's stuck in my brain with this woman's face attached to it. And she's talking about bags of water, which most people just, hey, your water broke, but it's technically the bags of water, bag of waters. I don't know. Said it way too much for my comfort level. Not okay with that. So we move on, and again, it's a slog. And Katie's kind of nudging me, saying, hey, calm down. This, you need to relax. But again, I get frustrated easily, and when it's something like this is on a list of mine where it's a pet peeve and a frustration, I'm getting very frustrated. Well, finally, week 3 comes. We've done 6 hours of this. We sit down.
3 to go.
And in my mind, I'm like, if there's ever a way, like, this is get out early territory, right?
Sure. This is
last day of school.
You come in, probably talk for an hour, and then at that point, so who has questions? Maybe a half hour of answering questions. Out of there early.
8:55. She's still going.
And it's supposed to be done at
9.
9?
6 to 9. We leave at 9:02. Oh, I'm furious.
Well, hey, you got your money's worth at least.
Yeah. Finally, the third portion of this class, so the last 3 hours, is where Katie, sitting next to me, visibly frustrated. I was fist pumping in my own head because I'd won. Like, she finally came to the light.
Sure, you have a common enemy now.
Became a cynic like me. Now, I think the other 3 couples, I didn't see any of this. They all, this is good information. I don't see it on anywhere. So, in hindsight, do I feel a little bad that maybe I'm spreading some of my cynicism to my wife and mother-to-be? Maybe.
Knowing you, no. No, you don't feel bad.
But eight, you work for 8.5 hours. You sit there, and it's the same stories 3rd week in a row. And if she tells us again, if she tells us that within 24 hours of her water breaking, all 3 children of hers were born, which she did. Don't worry. She covered that 3 times.
Now, do you think that she just teaches that class, like, even if no one's in the room, she's still, like, is she like a Westworld host where she's just on a loop?
Yeah, she's the robot pre-programmed to just do that at home,
like,
at work,
if you were to go there now, she'd be standing in a dark room teaching and pointing to a screen.
This is a woman who, no question in my mind, has gone to either a family dinner or holiday or a big group outing with friends and heartily discussed the idea of lactation. There's no doubt. There's no question.
Would you call her a lactivist?
Oh, yeah. Because she is like one of those specialists, too, that if you need help with breastfeeding, she'll come help in the room and probably condescend to you and make you feel really stupid.
Oh, I guess that's one way to do it.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's like I haven't been doing this forever. I mean,
did I ever tell you my Tom Selleck story?
Get out. Now, those 2, again, so I'm at peak frustration, and I get a lot of the education portion of this was useful to notice and be able to tell the stages of labor and how to respond and some breathing exercises.
Very valuable information.
What I didn't need was it all repeated twice. The last thing I did not need was the image, again, forever, ingrained in my brain of this woman showing, I believe it was one of the final stages of labor called transition, Steve. Now, this is the most difficult portion.
Okay.
So she's describing the specific breathing that is the best way to go about it. Where
so this isn't like the...
No, this would be like before that or after that.
So
this
that's still
is
a
where
thing, right? That's not just a movie TV thing. That is
is a portion. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. This is it's a portion where you want to essentially take a breath and then you want to push for like 7 to 8 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Big breath, push. How would you like a woman in her 60s to be on the ground doing that while showing you the pushing, like how she would like, oh, make sure you're lined up, like facing the doctor. And so she's going.
Wouldn't that be up to the doctor? Like, isn't it kind of the doctor's job to get in the right position?
It's right.
Instead of having you say, be like, hey, doc, 6 degrees to the right.
So
catch this thing.
So she's laying on the ground, and there's 8 other people in the room, and it's just silent for 60 seconds while she's going through like 2 cycles of and like telling it, like essentially showing it how it's done. And then she decides like, oh, unless you're not giving birth on your back or in the stirrups and you're like squatting. So she's like, then she does it that direction where she's on like all 4. Like it's unpleasant to be around, and it's never going to leave my memory.
No, and it shouldn't. That sounds awful.
Oh, it was, you know what? And I don't want to sound fully disparaging. Like, I'll say it again. There was some absolutely valuable information that I received there and that we received there in preparation. And now in hindsight of when we gave birth a few days ago.
Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you, Steve. It couldn't be said enough.
Baby Clifford, doing well. Named after your favorite Cheers character.
Yep, named after the big red dog.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Either or, you pick.
Big fan of big red dogs and Cheers, hence Clifford.
Yeah. It is safe to say that class could have been pared down, I would argue, at least in half, Steve.
Okay.
With an instructor who's no frills, no Tom Selleck, which are my 2 main things from any type of
from now on
class or meeting going forward. Listen,
those are the parameters for your life. No frills, no Tom Selleck stories.
Keep them to yourself. I know your family got tired of hearing that garbage years ago. I know they have, because I heard it once and that was enough. Like, if you want a backdoor into your story about how you met Tom Selleck, which isn't relevant today, hasn't been relevant in 30 years.
And even, okay, I'm going to play the role of baby teacher.
Mm-hmm.
Using all of those stories and tidbits.
Yeah.
Let's see how quickly I can condense it. Mm-hmm. So when you're in labor, the one thing you want to do, find something to focus on. For me, I had a picture of Tom Selleck in my hospital room. Just focused on him.
Okay. Oh, breathing.
Oh, the baby's here. Yay. Fast forward a couple years, I saw Tom Selleck in Hawaii. I told him the story. He didn't really care. What was that, about 30 seconds?
All done. I'm all caught up.
How much time do you think total Tom Selleck took out of your lessons?
8 to 10 minutes.
That's insane.
Because it's not a long story. I told it to you in a much pared down version.
And I just retold it to you secondhand.
Yeah, because like everybody knows when you talk to an older person, everybody has this when they talk to relatives, parents, whatever. It's, well, when I went to Hawaii, when was that? Was that 1981? No, it was still on the air.
I have to ask Dolly.
What airline
Do you know
was
Dolly?
that? You remember Dolly's daughter? You're not going to believe this.
Yeah. She has 3 kids now.
Yeah. It's like this podcast, but in a phone conversation with somebody you know.
Yeah. I don't really like that.
Well, it's that.
What are we talking about?
Boy, you're telling me we should straighten this podcast up a little bit?
All right, starting next week, 15-minute episodes.
Yeah. Listen.
Every time we go off course, somebody is going to be shocking us with a cattle prod.
It wouldn't hurt to have a bell that we just put in the middle of our new studio whenever it's made, TBD 2020 never. And anytime we get off topic, we ding it, and that has to tell us enough. You can finish this tangent another time. Back to topic A, and
and then we'll have an after show podcast.
Ooh,
which will be the Tangent Cast.
Yes, every good show, The Walking Dead, every popular show has an after show.
So we need to have somebody else host it, though.
We need an MC because they have to ask us questions, which means we need someone to sit in every episode. But again, here's the key part.
Who do you nominate?
You need to shut up because you're not part of the show. You're literally, it's like you're watching a TV show. So it's like you're in the studio, you're watching that episode of Walking Dead after you did not sexually harass your ex-girlfriend.
Yeah.
And then you ask different people questions about that episode. That's what this is going to be. So we need volunteers.
Well, Cy Nolan Ryan Young has been hinting that he wants to be a part of the podcast in some way.
With 2 children. You think he's willing to, 2 young children.
Yeah. You
think he's willing to come in, sit down, intern?
He's got plenty of time.
Okay. We'll keep, he sits there.
He's got a wife. She had the kids.
We might need
she can raise them. Right?
We might need to knock out a wall in that new studio. Bring that recliner in there.
So he can, cradle the children and...
No, kids aren't welcome.
Oh, okay.
That needs to be very clear. But he has, he can sit back and comfort.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, we can move that chair in there.
Take notes.
Yep.
And the end of the episode, he kicks off, needs a catchy title. Like there's Talking Dead, Talking Saul, or what is it?
What rhymes with Steve and Kyle podcast?
Boy, that sounds
Leave the pile...
Talking Steve Kyle. Leave the pile. Semicolon. Talking Steve Kyle.
Yeah, I like it.
All right.
Yeah.
So that needs to happen. So we need an after show. So we're from now on.
Somebody's got to design that shirt.
So yes,
we'll send you a picture of Chris.
Yes, just sitting in a chair taking notes. It needs to be an image of you and I. And it's like have you seen the meme of the It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia character in front of a big whiteboard?
Oh, yeah.
Where he has 8 million red strings.
Yeah.
That's you and I, but that's one episode of our podcast.
Yeah.
So it's minute 1, and then there's all these different tangents.
Yep.
Some of them that never come back to the fold. Those are the ones we need to cut out and address in Tangent Cast, also known as Leave the Pile, Talking Steve and Kyle.
With Cy Nolan
Ryan Young as your host.
Perfect. He's going to be thrilled. Now, does he have a co-host, or is it just him talking?
Hey, the heavy lifting is not us.
Yeah, that's true.
We're being asked questions about, hey, Steve, where were you going?
Oh, so we're actually going to be on it.
Oh, yeah, because then it's going to be like, hey, Steve, where were you going with the when you started your tangent on movie
about monster
candy?
Trucks?
Yeah.
Yeah,
why did you take a shot at the 33-inch tire on the Jeep? And then you
Cy, I'm not really sure.
And then you recap that. We move on to the next one. We have a healthy debate and conversation where everybody...
The thing that I'm worried about, though, is if we're both in on this, it's just going to lead to more tangents. And then it's going to be Inception-level tangents during the Tangent Cast. Leave the pile. Talking Steve and Kyle. With Cy Nolan Ryan Young.
So that'll need an offshoot. What are the odds that Leave the Pile becomes longer than just the regular episodes?
I love that name.
Leave the Pile, Talking Steve and Kyle. That is great. That is beautiful, man. I've had something on the list of notes that we kind of share before we record every week. I've had this on there for a long time. And I want to bring it up finally now that we have time and no time constraint in terms of this has to be pop culture.
Is that this one here?
No, right below it.
Okay.
Right below it. Right. So this is something, Steve, that I need to pitch to you.
Okay. Didn't you also say that there were tickets before we started recording?
Oh, my goodness, yes.
I knew that there was something we had
you're not going to believe this. With an episode with nothing to do because we didn't want to talk about anything that's happening today or this week.
This one's going 6 hours.
We are going to run out of time and not get to what we wanted to get to. Unless you want to cut the Fast Five.
What do we have for time constraints here? What are we doing? You want to do
I would like to be done in about a half hour, 40 minutes.
Okay. Let's
if we can make that
40
happen.
minutes, that'll get us to a
Sorry, everybody.
90-minute episode.
Apologies.
Look, Kyle's busy. He's got a baby at home.
You wouldn't believe it.
Baby Clifford. Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you, Steve. It can't be said enough.
Okay, so I really want to hear about the one. I think the one that's up on the screen we can leave up there for now. Get to it today if we need to.
Sure.
But you had a teaser.
Yeah.
Before the episode started, you said that you were considering buying tickets for an event. Mm-hmm. I'm assuming concert.
I guess yes. Yes.
Boy. I'm already worried.
Yes.
If you can't even categorize it.
So now here's what I'm thinking. What if you thought now it's not a direct concert. Now the last time I brought up an experience like this to you, Steve, was my adventure buying and going to the Kesha concert, which was unexpected just because I'm a 31-year-old man. In most circumstances, 31-year-old men are not going to Kesha concerts.
Sure, that's where I advertently called you a creepy old,
creepy weird guy.
Loser.
Yep. Even though I was there with my wife, also enjoys her music.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
The only reason I felt as bold going to that is because one of the only podcasts I listen to, which is Never Not Funny with Jimmy Pardo, he's a man in his 50s, his co-host Matt, a man in his late 40s, and their wives went to the Kesha concert, who was with MacLeod in Los Angeles. Made me feel not as weird about wanting to go to this show.
I think in L.A. you can get away with that, though.
But yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah. It's definitely a location-based thing. Like New York, L.A., it's cool to do things that people wouldn't expect you to do. Here in Grand Rapids, though, you stay in your line. Or you stay in your lane.
There's no venturing out.
You are to like Elton John.
Oh, God.
And Billy Joel.
Yep.
That's about it.
Bob Seger. You're forgetting Bob.
Bob Seger, of course.
Bob. So I thought that would be the most odd ticket purchase I've ever made for myself. That is until today. Now, these tickets aren't purchased yet, Steve, because I wanted to leave the door open for you to join in.
I'm excited. I can't wait.
What is a musical event that you would put as the least likely to ever see me at?
I would think
there's some options there.
I would think you probably wouldn't be a fan of like a festival atmosphere. Like
that's accurate.
Yeah, like either an all-day thing or a weekend thing, like a Lollapalooza.
That is true, and that stands true. That will not be...
Never happening.
Yeah, I guess this would be more along the lines of a genre. It's not a concert per se. What you're thinking?
See, I would have said country, but
I love country.
Yeah, you went to Zach Brown.
Yeah, love country music.
Okay. Probably like. Well, I mean, if you hadn't been to Kesha, I would have said. What would you say? Kesha's like hip hop.
She's straight pop.
Okay.
I mean, I would put like for me. I'm not ashamed about Kesha at all because obviously I bought the tickets. I went to the show. I talked about it on the podcast. I don't care. Like I was in discussions a year ago to go to a Demi Lovato show.
Okay.
I would have seen that in a heartbeat.
So I'm thinking maybe like a straight hip hop R&B.
Sure, I can see how you'd think that.
Yeah.
How's this strike your fancy, Steve? Oh boy. The Symphony.
The Symphony?
Yeah.
Well, being a symphony aficionado myself.
Yeah, you are.
Been there many times.
You have?
I have. I was there 2 weeks ago.
For what?
For
you see in like Beethoven's Concerto in C?
Yeah, it was Beethoven's second?
You're not kidding me.
No, I'm not. Not at all.
You go to the Symphony on the regular.
I've been there a handful of times with Annette because there are certain people that come to town that that appear with the Symphony, violin players that
Annette wants to see.
Yeah, or it'll be a like, what is going on?
This is. You sure she doesn't have a lesson tonight with a child? The only time I hear this is when the kid is playing with Lola.
Oh, dude. Hold on. She's talking to somebody.
Maybe somebody is here.
I think they might be.
So maybe that's it. But so okay,
Yeah, I've been there.
This stuns me, Steve.
Now,
I'll have to ask you all the questions.
now
because I don't know.
What I want to know is, are you going for just a Beethoven's blah blah blah,
Right.
or are you going for when the symphony plays video game music?
How about Home Alone in concert, Steve?
So, do they show the movie?
I see. I don't know.
And then-
I'm unfamiliar. Now, this was an idea. It falls right around my wife's birthday, so we're going to go for that.
Okay.
It'll be probably the first time we go out without the baby. And Clifford.
Congratulations. Buddy.
Thank you again, Steve. It can't be said enough. And I love Home Alone.
Oh, it's a great movie.
Home Alone 2 is an atrocity that doesn't
Yeah.
need to be discussed.
It's a classic.
I guess I never noticed the music, but it's by John Williams.
Yeah.
The iconic
Star Wars
composer
guy.
from Star Wars. And so I guess they play the movie, but all of the music is played by the symphony right in front of your seats.
That's awesome. I would go see that.
I'm so
Absolutely.
excited.
So
you
when
guys
is
are
this?
in then.
So when is this?
Here's the problem. It's on a Thursday night.
Okay.
It's the Thursday after Thanksgiving. That'll be November the 29th.
Okay.
I believe it's a 7 p.m. What do they call it? You'd know. What do they call it? They call it a curtain? 7 p.m. curtain?
No, because the curtain, the curtain's already open. Like, they don't open the curtain.
I guess I was hoping this would be classier. let me ask you this. Let's talk dress code. Never been, right?
Okay.
Do I go tails? I got to have tails?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like a bow tie? We going bow tie or just classic necktie?
Yeah. Well, let's see. In the few times I've been there, the last time I went, it was the least dressed up I've been.
Okay.
I still did a nice polo shirt,
Sure.
but I had jeans on. I felt a little underdressed.
Really?
but
With
it was-
jeans?
But it was because the pants I wanted to wear, I don't know where they went. I somehow lost a pair of
Missing
pants.
pair of... You know what? You know what it was? Annette was real proud of you for taking her to a symphony. And those pants didn't make it home is what you're telling us.
Sure. Yeah. No, but typically, the couple times that I've been there before with her, because I've gone with her and her parents. Just like a pair of dress pants, button-down shirt.
No tie? You go tie?
No tie.
No jacket? You go jacket on that? Classy jacket, suit jacket, blazer?
No, I didn't
winter
do-
coat?
Yeah, because let's see. It depends on the season. I mean, if it's cold, you're just gonna want an overcoat.
Annette go like a dress? Something like that? Maybe
Yeah.
a sensible pantsuit?
Yeah. Yes. She from the Hillary Clinton collection. Nice mauve pantsuit. Perfect.
Maybe a 1-inch stiletto heel on that?
Yeah, I mean, if you want to be if you want to be slumming it.
I mean, she doesn't want to be a hussy.
Now, yeah, I enjoy it. I enjoy the whole
No
thing.
kidding.
Because normally we'll go out to dinner beforehand,
Sure, make a whole day of
and
it.
then we'll walk down the street, go to the symphony.
What's it like from your perspective? Now, I'm not calling you names, but you're a simpleton.
I'm glad you're not calling me names, because otherwise that would have been offensive.
Sure, I could see how one could construe that if I were calling names. What's it like to go to a symphony show? Now, you said you've been. Now, have you been to one like this where they play music over a movie or music from a game
Nope.
or whatever?
Never.
What's it like to go to the symphony with essentially an instrument snob up there? Is it a bit different? Because she knows what's going on. Now, you're like, Mia, this all sounds great. But she's noticing the,
it was one of the first times I went. It was with Annette, her parents, and Annette's sister, Michelle. Mm-hmm. And they're Annette and Michelle and her father are all very musically inclined.
Sure.
Can play a bunch of different instruments. Her dad is in a band. They know music. They know music well. And so I'm just sitting there
you're wide-eyed.
Wow.
You're starry-eyed. Everything sounds great.
Yeah, that's a neat song. And the two of them afterwards were just like, oh, did you hear how out of tune the blah, blah, blah was? And I'm like, yeah.
I mean,
Sounded like garbage.
last time my cello sounded like that, I was in grade school. That big idiot. Playing the big is that the big one? The cello?
Yeah.
Yeah, playing the big one. Like it would be like going to a movie with a director, like a chatty director, and the whole time you're just sitting there like, whoo, like that Transformer just blew up a planet. And then like Spielberg is next to you like, well, you didn't see the obvious blurry around the planet because they
now to be clear, they didn't have these conversations during it. Right. The thing that gets me though is, now you probably won't experience this because it's kind of, you'll be at like Symphony Light,
right? Because it's a loosey-goosey program. You're watching a 1990 comedic movie with a symphony there.
When you're at a concert, and a song finishes, what happens? Everybody cheers. Everybody applauds.
Oh, right. So at a rock concert or whatever.
Yeah, I love that song. Play Freebird. Well, at the symphony, you don't. Like, the song will finish, and there are certain times where it's dead silence. And I'm like, about to clap.
That's so uncomfortable, though.
But then there will be times where it'll finish, and everybody will clap. And I'm like, well, what the hell determines when to clap and when not to clap? And how does everyone else here know it except me?
So certain songs they would clap after.
I don't know. Yeah, I'm assuming it's like the end of a... I don't even want to say because I'll sound stupid, and then Annette will make fun of me and she'll be like, obviously it's...
So you are concerned about being talked down to by the music snob then?
A little bit.
I don't blame you.
Yeah.
But you know what? That's why we got this. She wants to come be podcast snobs.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, because we know the good stuff.
Yeah,
That's a big deal. I mean, what type of mixer is that? Jokes.
That unidirectional or omnidirectional?
I do, and it's not actual but there's podcasts I can't listen to either. The
bad sound quality.
There's always some sound quality issues, but just the construction of a podcast now bugs me. Like and I've said it before, and I know it's so incredibly popular, and I cannot stand it. Is My Favorite Murder, and I
never
gave it a really fair shake.
You know what?
I listened to like 3 episodes. Ugh.
The thing that I don't like about podcasts is because it seems like every comedian has a podcast.
Not every comedian, but it's like comedians. There's some actors, like wrestlers. Yeah. Like that's all there is now. It's all these podcasts, and now murder, crime,
and that's cool. Like I mean, hey, we have a podcast, and we don't.
Oh, sure. We're not doing anything.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So the thing that I don't like is I call it like the preamble, is when comedians especially do it, where they'll have a guest on.
Looking at you, Marin.
A fellow comedian is going to join them, or a actor or a musician or whatever. Podcast starts, and they spend 8 to 10 minutes telling you about an interview that they did with this person.
That you're going to hear.
That you're going to hear. Now, I understand with comedians and artists and stuff, like they need a chance to, like that's their marketing. They're marketing themselves.
Yeah.
So they want to say,
Not
hey,
a monologue.
I got a gig coming up on the 3rd at the Funny Bone.
Yeah.
Buy tickets at funnybone.com.
Yep.
But I don't need how you were feeling during the interview and what happened after. Like, just do this thing chronologically.
Right?
Start, hey, I'm here with my favorite guitar player ever, Slash.
Mm-hmm.
Why do I need 10 minutes of you talking about how you felt before the interview, during the interview, at the end of the interview? A funny thing that Slash said as he was getting in his car. Like, just tell it to me in the order that it happened.
Yep, exactly.
It would be like watching a TV show and it's starting and them saying, like, look, you're not going to believe what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Towards the end of this episode, the dog runs away.
Yeah. Let me tell you how that came to fruition.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
I was pretty nervous. Don't worry. In the end, we found the dog. Here's the show.
It's so weird. You're right. You don't need that. Now, it's like a movie. Now, the director's not, even at movie screenings, they'll do a director Q&A or open discussion after the movie.
Yeah.
So people can see the movie. Now, if you're into that sort of thing and you want to hear somebody, a comedian, whatever, talk about the interview, like how it went, put it after.
Yeah.
You know, you're
kind of spoiling stuff by putting it beforehand.
Yes, if you want to plug your whatever, do that. Hit it quick. Say, hey, it's whatever podcast. I'm here. The guest this week is so-and-so. I'll be out at blah, blah, blah. Read your dates. Go into it. Do your discussion afterwards. If people want to stick around for you, which they're listening to the podcast for you, so they probably will.
Yeah, you're surrounded by fans.
Just do it that way.
I never understood that, and it seems like every comedian's podcast I've listened to, did someone tell them, like, hey, here's what you got to do?
Yeah, this is the new format. Has to be done this way. God, now I'm all afraid I'm going to get hate mail from murderinos. That's what they call themselves.
Do they really?
Oh, it's embarrassing. It's the worst.
So that's
Steve.
is every episode different? Like every episode focuses on
two women who talk, and it's obviously, like I said, titled "My Favorite Murder," and I was very curious. It was getting popular, getting a lot of traction. It's Karen Kilgariff and Georgia. I apologize for not knowing Davidson, something like that. And I believe they're comedians or stand-up comics, and they discuss different murders. They each have one that they talk about. But the problem is they just have a printout of the Wikipedia.
And they just read it.
I swear to God, that's exactly what it sounds like to me. And they're stumbling over themselves.
So
talking
it's scripted. Like they're reading.
They're absolutely reading because, I'm sorry, I forgot this part. And they're like going up. And then it's a discussion between, I listened like 3 episodes because it was so popular. They're selling out clubs and amphitheaters or whatever, small ones, and doing live versions of this, and people go nuts over it. Oh, whoa! If there's ever been an endorsement for letting it breathe in a podcast, that's the one right there.
All right, we're gonna have to record a preamble to this episode.
Yeah, talking about it.
Hey, you're not gonna believe it, but at the 1 hour, 6.5 minute mark, this noise happens. That's unbelievable.
Get ready. You're not. It's just a stunner.
How did you feel when that happened?
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. I was more in shock and awe than anything. So, I'm looking at going. So you're in. Sounds like you guys are in Thursday night.
I think if I asked Annette, she would be all about it.
Well, if you guys are serious about it, we're planning on buying here ASAP.
How much are those tickets?
I think they're in the 40s, low 40s, 42. A little out of your range.
Well, I'm already out.
Oh God, yeah,
$150 on the year.
Got anybody getting hitched soon that they're going to announce a date for a Thursday now, just to really rub it in?
What'd you say? The 29th?
29.
Check the calendar.
We've got time. So yeah, I'm going. I'll have to check in with you on again dress code, and maybe I
think that it's going to be a lot more lax at that one. I bet.
Well, I also don't want to be a scumbag.
True. You don't want to be. You don't want to be symphony scum. That's what we call them.
Oh, right. When you're looking down from wherever you sit, usually the
front row.
Oh, your front row orchestra. Is that accurate?
Come on, man.
Whoa, I apologize.
Why would you sit anywhere else?
I didn't know if you were a balcony sitter, so you could look down on everybody.
Yeah, and I have
Statler and Waldorf.
And I have one of those little masks on a stick that
helps you get a closer look.
My little binoculars.
Yeah, helps you get a closer look at the action going on. Oh my God. So yeah, that's in the cards, man. I never thought I'd be going to a symphony.
It's fun. I like it.
I feel like it's a little above my pay grade. You know what I mean? Like
it's funny because you walk in and not at that one. If you were to go like the one that we went to a couple weeks ago, I mean, other than a couple of little kids, we were by far the youngest people there.
Do I have to tip a towel man in the restroom?
Yeah.
Damn.
Absolutely.
Like a valet. Am I going to have to rent a Rolls Royce just so I fit in?
Come on.
And then valet it, obviously.
These are amateur questions, man.
Use the coat check.
Oh, yeah.
Am I look down and if I wear a coat in and I just walk to my seat with my coat on?
Yeah, you're a loser.
Because you have to check it, right?
Come on.
Tip the coat check person. Could obviously tip the doorman who opens the door for you.
Yeah. Got to tip the man who carries you to your seat.
Turns out, on average, those tickets are going to be closer to $75 a pop, Steve. This is taking into account the gratitude or the gratuity there.
Yeah.
In the service industry.
I look forward to hearing your review of it if I do not go with you.
Yeah, I can't wait. I love the movie. I'm excited to see it on this level because it's something different, something unique. So I'm definitely interested in that.
It's an American classic.
Yes, it is, isn't it? Now, number 2, I don't know if I talked about it enough. Number 2 is a violation of everything that is right about number 1. Lost in New York.
Yeah.
I did
and the third one, Macaulay Culkin, wasn't it?
Don't talk about it. Not worth anybody's time.
Was it, any of the other who's
essentially a retread of the first one. Nobody was involved though.
Okay,
nobody. Not John Hughes, the director. None of the actors. Not Joe Pesci.
None of the actors.
No.
Not even like
not the same burglars. Whole new set of burglars.
Not even like the mother or something.
Nope. Total new crew.
Okay.
Not worth anybody's time.
All right.
But I will be reposting. I know everybody's been waiting. A very long tweet thread that I did last year while watching Home Alone 2: Lost in New York. That I'll be reposting for everybody's pleasure this holiday season.
Good.
I'll give ample time to prepare.
That's the true meaning of the holidays right there. It's just reviewing terrible movies.
And that's it. Listen, I hold nothing back, Steve.
So
I'm going to tell it like it is, guy.
We're kind of up against it, but so I don't think we have time to get to this right here.
Yeah, that's fine.
But what we can do...
What?
2 in a row.
2 in a well, no, not technically, Steve.
I mean,
2 in a month and a half. Trivia. Just need to re-record it.
No.
I don't know why.
No, we don't. We do not need to re-record it because it's perfect the way it is.
Now, this is obviously the trivia game that is from the 1980s sitcom Cheers, that has some sort of board game element. We threw that away.
Yeah.
We kept the box of trivia cards. This has 3 questions regarding the show that I can guess multiple choice answers.
Okay.
Pink question, sir.
This is this is actually only 2 questions.
It's one of those again?
Yeah. What do you should we just go with it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, we did last time.
All right, so 2 questions. Question number 1, what is the name of Anthony's wife?
Now, Anthony is Rhea Perlman's son on the show. I know that doesn't get me points. She ends up falling in love with somebody else. I don't know, Steve. I'm going to need the multiple choice here, and I think I'll hit it.
Okay. What is the name of Anthony's wife? That is Carla's daughter-in-law.
Yep.
A. Laverne. B. Sheila. C. Annie. Details are a little fuzzy.
Turns out I don't think Anthony's the son. I think Anthony's the ex-husband. Laverne, Sheila, or Annie.
Yeah. What's it going to be there?
I think that's Sheila.
You say B.
B. Sheila.
B. Sheila, and you are confident.
Yeah.
Well, you shouldn't be.
Dang it! It's not Laverne.
That'd be C. Annie.
Yeah.
All right, now in lieu of a second question, Sam needs some more wine, so go to the wine cellar and help him get it.
Point for me.
Nope, not a point.
No, is that
Definitely.
wait. That sounds like it's a point.
No. No, you have to go to the wine cellar and
We
help
haven't discussed these rules.
Help
enough.
Sam get the wine.
Well, this is a big one for me here then, Steve. I have yet to have a goose egg. Uh-oh.
Okay. What was the theme of Diane's college party?
Because when the show begins, Steve, now Diane is in college. Mm-hmm. And she starts working at the bar after her and her professor are no longer an item. Mm-hmm. It's a college party.
Yeah.
I need a multiple choice on that.
Boy, I don't know if this is going to help you.
Oh, boy.
Is that A, famous Elizabethan poets? Mm-hmm. B, conceptual artists of the 18th century?
Mm-hmm.
Or C, folk dancing?
I think that's A, famous Elizabethan poets.
Boy, you're confident.
Yeah, that she was in the writing field, Steve. She wanted to be, I believe, an author. She was a writer in college. literary arts degree. Going to college for it. That's Elizabethan poets, Steve.
You're confident.
For Elizabethan poets or college party. Yeah.
There's a lot of confidence there.
Yeah, Elizabethan poets, Steve.
You should be confident, because that's correct.
Yes, I knew it. Now, Diane, obviously the most offensive character on that.
People all want the same. You want to go where everybody knows your name.
Trivia.
Boy, if you're going to take time to learn the piano, learn that little ditty
No
right there.
kidding. I could do that live anytime you want. Cheers, Trivia. You give me a hand signal.
I mean,
bust
yeah, it'll
over
be
there.
less of a surprise for you, but it's okay. So I know
I think I could do that in 30 minutes tops.
Now I know your computer died, but be sure that you do not forget to mark
It's
down.
1 out of 2.
Yeah, 1 out of 2.
1 out of 2. The Cheers Trivia lives.
All right, so I know
Love
that
it. So much excitement. Every time that music hits, I get so amped.
it's exciting. All right, let's jump into the Fast Five.
Fast five. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You want to take this one?
Sure. Like you said, my computer died. Let me find the photo of the Fast Five that I took.
Now remember, this episode is being recorded just after the birth of your baby boy Clifford.
Yeah.
Congratulations,
the big red dog.
by the way.
Thank you, Steve. It can't be said enough. I appreciate that. Congratulations are always welcome in form of gifts, cash.
So in no way is this episode a generic evergreen episode.
No, this is timely,
Yeah.
important items that we need to talk about right now, Steve.
Okay.
Number 1, the midterm elections.
Huh.
Right? Coming up.
Or have they passed?
Or have they passed? I mean, pretty important.
Yeah, I couldn't believe that outcome.
Halloween.
Spooky.
Right? Got a big. The NFL season through the midway portion.
Ish. I tell you what, I'm surprised at where some teams have ended up in the standings.
About those upsets last week. New TV shows. Right, you all about it? You got all the DVR shows?
It's fall sweeps.
Yeah. A million little things. You got it on the DVR. Manifest.
Yeah.
All these hot new programs for the fall.
Good. Manifest does look good.
It was pretty good.
Was it? Did you watch it?
I did watch it.
Is it on
I'm involved.
demand for free anywhere?
Should be NBC On Demand somewhere. You should be able to find that.
Okay.
Where's your time?
I mean,
lastly,
when you first watched it,
oh yeah,
upwards
6 weeks
of
ago, still
2 to 6 weeks.
holding strong. Let me tell you that. A lot of mystery, a lot of intrigue. Episode 4 particularly enticing. And lastly, what a run, man! The Major League Baseball playoffs.
Yeah, boy, I'm shocked at where some of the teams landed in the standings.
Right? I mean, you got those one-game playoffs between.
Very similar to my thoughts on football season thus far.
How about those 2 one-game playoffs between the number 4 and the 5 seeds in each division?
A wild card.
Wild card, man. 2 of them.
Yeah.
The new TV shows. You said you're interested in Manifest.
Do we really need to go back?
Backwards, NFL season, all those standing changes. Halloween. Wanted to ask you any big plans? Now, last year you gave me, on my sad, lonely Halloween, you gave me the option to come to your house, not in your house, to hand out candy on your porch.
What day of the week is Halloween this year?
I think it's a Wednesday.
Oh.
You doing the same thing? You turning the light off?
I'll tell you what, that offer stands.
2 years running, you say?
Yeah.
Now, there's no question in my mind. This is the holiday. This is the top 2 holiday, Steve. Maybe top 3 at worst.
What holiday are we talking about?
Halloween.
Top 2.
Oh, there's no question.
Oh, good Lord.
There's nothing I look forward to more than Halloween and Christmas.
I think I'd place Halloween slightly above Arbor Day,
Oh, come on.
but below Columbus Day.
You're really going to do this, right? Okay, so now it's time to rehash this. I had an argument with my brother this week about Halloween, And it was this same vein. He listed it below Boxing Day. This is an Afra.
That's the Canadian holiday, right?
There
or is
are-
it Australian?
I think it's Canadian.
I think Australia has a Boxing
They probably
Day, too.
do too. I don't know where they'd celebrate it or why. I don't know what it is. There's two holidays, Steve. Two where you celebrate a season. Okay, it's not just a day. Halloween and Christmas. You see decorations. There's a whole build-up. You got corn stalks. You got pumpkins. And then Christmas, you've obviously got your decorations, your lights. What do you have for Thanksgiving? You have a day of food. It's fine. Thanksgiving's great. I'm not dogging Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving's 3 in the hierarchy.
I think that your take on Christmas is a bit off. No, it actually is celebrating one day. It's the birth of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ.
All the holidays are one day, but it's a whole
season. If you want to
season.
commercialize it and turn it into candy canes and sleigh rides through the Alps, then go at it.
My mistake, spiritual Steve. I didn't mean to step on your toes.
You can say what you want about Halloween, but you do not take the Christ out of Christmas.
So, where are we going for midnight mass this year?
Boy, if only there was a church around here that we could go to.
I don't know, man. The miles of driving.
How many churches do you think you would pass, like from your house to my house? It's at least, we live 4 miles apart, probably.
There's at least 4.
4
at minimum.
Dude,
I'm thinking on the main road.
I think there's closer to a dozen. There's one point where there's 3 right in a row.
Yeah, they're just in a row. And then isn't there one across the street from your main, the main road to come into your
there's
neighborhood
one on the
off
corner.
of? Yeah. They're so big.
Yeah, and then there's the mega one.
Oh, that's where I vote. I'm lucky. I got it down pat now, though. I didn't know where to go. You end up wandering. There's a school inside a church inside an auditorium.
There's the mega one on the opposite corner too, or not that opposite corner, but
very large.
The mega church where you vote. I saw AC/DC there last year too.
Nice venue.
Yeah,
real nice venue.
Yeah, 35,000 seat venue.
Yes. In removable roof, so it can be an amphitheater depending on the time of year. Yeah. It's gorgeous. But listen, back to the point, Steve. There's echelons of holidays. Tier 1, Christmas, Halloween. Tier 2, Thanksgiving, 4th of July. Tier 3, Memorial Day, Labor Day. I'll fight anybody on this.
I agree in theory that there are tiers. I believe that my standings would be a little different than you.
Give me your 3 tiers of holidays. Top 6 holidays, Steve. Rank them for me.
Okay. Boy, now am I going... Do I go personal or do I go popular opinion?
Personal. This is about you. Well, how do you think... what do you... you're like, hey, oh, man, I love Thanksgiving's,
Thanksgiving
tomorrow.
is... I think Thanksgiving is my favorite holiday.
So that's that's one of your tier 1s. What's your other tier 1 holiday?
It would probably be Christmas, even though I'm...
You're not a Christmas guy?
I enjoy Christmas because I like being with my family and friends.
Sounds like you enjoy the season.
On the day, of course.
Christmas Eve, just go to hell. Tell
Peanut
M&M so high when they get there.
Let's see. So, yeah, I'd say Christmas and,
against your will, though. It seems like you're not a.
Well, I do not. I have a I wouldn't say a phobia, but I hate opening gifts. I don't like receiving gifts at all.
Okay,
so that's part of what I don't like. I don't care for Christmas.
That is
sense.
the common gripe with the holiday season, not the poor and the homeless who we're trying to help, but Steve having to open a present.
Oh, I'm sorry. What soup kitchen would you be serving at?
Ladling soup for the homeless on Thanksgiving morning, giving up my time of a tier 2 holiday. Okay, so you got Thanksgiving, you've got Christmas as tier 1.
Tier 1.
What's your tier? I feel like I know one of your tier 2s, and it's going to be an upset.
Let's hear it.
I think you're going to have Easter in your tier 2.
That's a good. I would say Easter. Yeah, Easter is a tier 2. Easter and
overrated.
I'll go Memorial Day.
He's risen.
Oh, look, he's born. He dies.
Wait,
Then he's back.
Easter and Memorial Day. You got Memorial Day as a tier 2?
It's the ceremonial beginning of summer.
Oh, woof! That isn't. Is it the fact that that's in your power rankings that high?
And
Give me your tier 3. Now there's a big dog. There's a couple big dogs missing there.
I like a good St. Patrick's Day.
You don't even get enough of work. Tier 3.
Yeah. I'll really enjoy this Halloween when I have off
That's
from
not
work.
the point. It's the Halloween season, Steve.
Okay, I'm gonna go St. Patty's Day.
That's your top tier 3.
Top tier 3.
Okay.
And give me a 4th of July.
That's the one I thought I was missing from here that I thought would be. I didn't consider you as a 4th of July guy though.
Well, see, now this is where I kind of walk the line a bit, and I say I enjoy that one because it's more about it's summer. Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah, it's Independence Day and blah blah blah, and all that other stuff. Mm-hmm. You know, getting away from those dirty English, but yeah.
So okay. Well, that's the poll this week. Go ahead and take a look. Is Halloween a top 5
That's not
holiday?
going to be the poll.
It has to be a poll.
We don't remember the poll.
No, I'm going to put a memo.
But you can't even set it for a specific.
It's going to be
time.
every day in October. So the baby's
How
born.
are you going to word this poll now?
Is Halloween a top 5 holiday?
Oh, top 5. Now you had said top 2.
Well, because in my mind it is. You're saying it's not. You didn't have it in
No.
your top 6.
No,
I have it in my
said,
top 2.
Like I said, give me a Columbus Day before.
So can we
Halloween.
compromise and say top 3 then? Top 4?
I'll say top 3.
Top 3. Is Halloween a top 3 holiday? Be sure to vote on that. Twitter at Stephen Kyle, Facebook.com/Stephen Kyle. I think I'm in the right here. I'm going top 2 holidays are the top 2. You celebrate them for more than a day. You see Halloween decorations. You see Christmas decorations. You don't see Easter decorate. You have Easter egg hunts where the kids just mash through eggs.
Yeah, but you get to
You
go
don't
to the
see
mall
Memorial-
and get a picture with the Easter Bunny.
You know, see,
That's a season-long thing.
Go to the mall and get a picture with the big scarecrow. Yeah, that's part.
Boy, I guess I stand corrected.
Yeah, bet you feel real stupid. So yeah, that was it. That's my generic. Oh, and the midterm elections. Huh? How about those?
Boy,
Coming up or just happened?
I couldn't believe the standings after that.
What a shakeup!
Yeah, quite a shakeup.
Fast 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Not even top 6.
No, not at all.
That is offensive.
My Fast 5 now.
Day of
remember
the Dead.
these are
All Hallows Eve.
very specific here. Very specific.
Yeah, because this is a weekly podcast.
Number 1, fall activities.
I mean, you want to rank seasons? I mean, seasons where we're at. Fall, number 1. Top tier. Tier 1, fall.
Okay. Number 2, rake or leaf blower.
You want to rank power tools? Yeah? Like, yeah, or just, tool? I mean, leaf blower, let's call it tier 3.
Number 3, Kyle, trunk or treat.
Hate it. We talked about it last year.
Yeah.
We'll have
Finally, a bipartisan agreement.
Yeah, right. We can reach across the aisle, agree on one thing. If I remember right, maybe we can replay your rant from last year's episode.
Oh, I had a rant?
About trunk or treat.
I did.
Maybe we can re-air that.
Okay.
Either already have re-aired it or re-airing it soon.
Surprise! We don't know. Number 4, pumpkin patches.
Love it. Love it.
What's not to love?
Right, because it's the Halloween season. Everybody wants to pick a pumpkin to carve a jack-o'-lantern,
I don't know about
Steve.
the pumpkin season or the Halloween season.
Oh, so you want to go pick a pumpkin in June?
Well, Halloween's one day.
I can't believe this is.
I'll pick it on the 30th and throw it out on November 1st. Turn it into a pie. And finally, hot cocoa.
I mean, you want to rank hot beverages. That's tier 1, right?
Tier 1, of course.
I mean, you got coffee.
Yeah.
I think you go hot cocoa. Now, we're doing coffee. I think we should do it as a blanket.
Well, I mean, me being the tea aficionado,
Oh,
I would
sure.
have to say that it is it is tea o'clock somewhere.
You putting tea over coffee in tier 1?
No, tea. I mean, I love tea. Everybody knows. I drink it out of my It's Tea O'Clock Somewhere mug
All the
every
time.
day. But that's going to be tier 2.
You think tea's a tier
maybe
2?
tier 3.
Well, I mean,
And I can't even think of any other hot beverages.
Maybe just some hot water.
Just boil the water. No tea bag.
Just drink that up, man. Just put it in a mug, maybe.
Well, that's nice.
Just get that warm sensation. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you can do any drink warmed up, like warm apple cider. Where do you stand on that? You like that heated up?
I'm not a huge cider fan.
Not as.
No. Now, I'll tell you what, though. I can be persuaded if it's like donuts and hot cider.
Oh, isn't that the best?
Yeah.
There's nothing better. A nice warm donut,
Yeah.
a cup of hot cider,
Yep.
a nip of rum in there.
I'm there.
Ooh.
But if you just, if we're out at like one of the 9,000 microbreweries and they say, oh, you should try our new
Okay, so like hard cider.
whatever cider, take it or leave it.
I can see that. All right.
Maybe one.
We're going to a cider house next spring, though.
Okay.
Me, you, the two broads.
Clifford.
We got a net hooked on it. You know the place. A couple miles away from us.
Oh, yeah.
We're going there next year. Okay.
All right, let's swing back through here. Pumpkin picking.
Love it, man. It's a tried
Trunk or
and true
treat.
tradition of the Halloween season, going to that pumpkin patch.
Trunk or treat.
There's nothing worse about Halloween than people who say, I'm going to the trunk or treat. My kids aren't going trick or treating.
I don't want dangerous.
I don't want some jerk in a 93 Regal sitting on his open trunk blasting Leonard Skinner wearing a fake hockey mask.
Very
Hey,
vivid.
kids.
Very vivid image.
Yeah, never been, but that's what I'm envisioning. A trunk or treat is like, Philip, draw it up.
I like how there's you can actually go to trunk or treat, but they don't even do the trunk portion of it anymore. It's like in the high school gymnasium.
Yeah, and it's at like folding tables.
Yeah.
Like, hey, here's a pamphlet and a Snickers. Well, I'm going to throw one of them at you. You take a guess which one.
Yeah. I know that you're not a fan.
It's the Snickers.
You're not a fan of Snickers.
Keeping the pamphlet.
You give me. Tell you what, Lucky Billy sponsors the trunk or treat. I'm there.
Because it's actually going to be out of trunks.
Yeah.
And it's going to be 92 Regals because nobody eating a Lucky Billy can afford a newer car.
Okay, number 2 was raking or leaf blower.
The leaf blower, I hate the rake. I hate
of course.
the rake. I'm actually just like in debating with myself. I want to rent a power rake. We need to, kind of dethatch the lawn in the spring. Because there's nothing worse than you in either a plastic or a metal rake, and you look and you realize, oh, cool, I've raked the whole thing. Oh, now I get to go pick it all up like an idiot.
See, we're kind of lucky since we have a deep backyard. It's a dumping ground for anything we want.
So you just either
Take 'em all
leaf
back
blow
there.
it back there or rake it and lift it up and dump it back
Yeah.
there. Now you've got a lawnmower with bagging. You could do that
Yeah.
way too.
Yep.
Not me. I'm poor.
Yeah.
Got a push lawnmower.
Oh, yeah, poverty.
Like
Garbage.
a real loser over there.
Oh, loser.
Sweating like an idiot as I'm pushing up
Virgin.
a hill. Yeah, nothing worse than a rake. The fact that they had to make, is that technically not a power tool, but think somebody thought, I'm tired of these leaves. I'm just going to make something that with no regard blows anything in its general direction away. It's non-discriminant and it's meant for one thing.
Yeah.
That's
Isn't
it.
that great?
It's unbelievable.
It's like a monument to our laziness.
Yeah, it really is.
And first on the list, the very specific fall activities.
Oh my God, nothing better than the Halloween season activities, Steve. You got your corn mazes, you're going to the cider houses, you're going pumpkin picking, all of the Halloween season activities that take place in the months of September and October.
Activities.
Oh, okay, sorry then. Walking around with Uggs. bike rides with a stocking cap.
Let's we're at the end here. Sorry for the brisk episode, but Kyle here has to get home to.
Actually, that wasn't that. I mean, it's shorter
Yeah.
than most, but hour 35 with and the fact that we didn't do
still
much of anything.
You have to get home to Baby Clifford, though. By the
Baby
way,
Clifford.
congratulations. By
Thank
the
you,
way.
Steve, on that. Can't be enough. Congratulations to go around again. Congratulations always welcome by gift or just by
So
congratulations.
you're soliciting
God, no.
for people
Please
to
don't.
send you.
Please don't. That's so uncomfortable. That's a total joke. Thank you, Steve, for the congratulations
Yeah, of
on my
course.
newborn.
Of course. Now, the weird thing is that it may have already been covered in a past episode, depending on the... Yeah, so this episode may stand out like a sore thumb.
No, this will be fluid.
Yeah.
Nobody will know the difference.
You can download, subscribe, and review the show on iTunes, the Apple Podcast app, Google Play, TuneIn, Stitcher, YouTube, Libsyn, SteveandKyle.com. You can get merch at SteveandKyle.com/merch.
Yes, please check it out. Philip, all the Philip art there. More coming. Hopefully after this episode, we'll have the trunk or treat losers.
I can only hope. You can follow us on Twitter at SteveandKyle, Facebook.com/SteveandKyle.
Yes.
And we'll talk to you next week, which my brain still can't handle. I don't
Next
know.
week?
Yeah, next week.
Same time, same place. No episodes missed.
Talk to you next week. See ya. By the way, congratulations on the birth of your baby.
Thank you so much.